Republicans are uniting against President Joe Biden and siding with a foreign autocrat, Vladimir Putin, as he is invading a sovereign and peaceful country.
Democrats in Washington have told you have a patriotic duty to hate Vladimir Putin. It's not a suggestion, it's a mandate. It might be worth asking yourself, since it is getting pretty serious, what is this really about? Why do I hate Putin so much? Has Putin ever called me a racist?
Very shrewd. Very capable. I have enormous respect for him. I've been criticized for saying that. No, I have enormous respect for him.
Look at Russia. Can we give a round of applause for Russia? Yes.
The whole reason this is happening is because Joe Biden is a weak president. Now America is a weak country, and our entire world is falling apart, and we're seeing war erupt, which did not happen under President Trump because we had peace through strength.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and there's nothing more disgusting to watch than a bunch of entitled do-nothings who've never worked a day in their lives spit on everything this country has given them and blow nothing but sunshine up Vladimir Putin's butt. But that's exactly what the Republican Party has devolved into, an anti-American cesspool comprised of the worst of humanity. Look at the atrocities that Putin has inflicted upon the world. That man is a corrupt, evil dictator on a level the world has seldom seen, and his autocratic Russian regime is a breeding ground for that kind of crime against humanity to spring up. And it's that kind of government Republicans aspire to achieve here on our own soil. They want to replace democracy because they're envious of the full manipulative control Putin has in Russia, the domination of the citizens, the perversions of the media, and the unbridled absolute power of a dictator.
Remember that the Ukrainian government is incredibly corrupt and it is incredibly evil and has been pushing woke ideologies. So March 10th, the same gentleman, I'm not going to read any more of him, but this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. NATO has been supplying the neo-Nazis in Ukraine with powerful weapons and extensive training on how to use them. What the hell's going on with these NATO Nazis? What does Putin do with that?
Well, we know from hard evidence that some of the people you mentioned are being featured nightly on the largest news networks within Russia. So people are coming home from work in Moscow and tuning in to people like Madison Cawthorn, Josh Hawley, Tucker Carlson. We had reporting earlier this week, I believe it was Mother Jones, that claims to have their hands on a leaked memo that tells the Russian news agencies, please feature Tucker Carlson prominently on the evening news.
And they are certainly not afraid to outright display their loyalties again and again. Madison Cawthorn and Wendy Rogers repeating false Russian talking points disparaging Zelensky, Paul the Nazi Gosser and Marjorie Trainwreck Greene going to white nationalist rallies where the crowd chants for Putin, and Matt the pedophile gets ripping our own Defense Secretary General Austin. And of course not to forget Donald Trump's undying romance with Putin that should be enough to make every honest American puke. The right's posture towards Russia, which is cowering on bent knee and submission, is humiliating to any true American patriot. For the few in the Republican Party who don't outright praise Russia and Putin, their silence is deafening. They are happily complicit to let their comrades speak what they themselves are thinking as well. They are more than happy to sell out American democracy forever for their own personal political power.
Apparently on a leaked tape, now he's a Republican of course, said about Donald Trump that he thinks Vladimir Putin pays him. He says there's two people that I think Putin actually pays. Dana Rohrabacher, who has been all over TV defending Putin no matter what he does, and Donald Trump.
And don't believe for a moment there is any limit to Republican treason. January 6th laid that to bed once and for all. Their love affair with Putin has only ramped up since that deranged dictator assaulted Ukraine in a full-out imperialist invasion. Tucker Carlson, the annoying pest that he is, keeps asking why aren't we supporting Russia, not Ukraine? Well, Tucker, fear not, because you and your fascist buddies are supporting Russia. We hear it loud and clear. These people obviously hate democracy. They fight it tooth and nail at every turn. And they adore evil autocratic regimes, North Korea, China. The admiration for dictators and corruption is clear. If moderate Republicans exist, they certainly have no spines because we don't hear a whisper countering this dive into full-out far-right anti-American extremism. Domestic terrorism was a fringe issue years back. Now domestic terrorism is a political party, one hell-bent on destroying America. And it's pretty simple to figure out which party that is. Which party voted to dismiss the vote of the people? Which party led a deadly siege against their own Capitol building and then defended it as a bunch of peaceful patriots within their full legal rights, and which party is apologizing for Vladimir Putin and smearing Ukraine, a democracy, while they are being murdered by an invading dictator. We need real patriots to recognize the simple truth that democracy is on the ballot this November, and the party of Putin is hell-bent on assigning winners of elections and dismissing the vote of the people. They already tried it on January the 6th, and they're still bent on turning America into Russia. We need all decent people to come out to the polls and bring a friend. Embarrass these fools at the ballot box like they are embarrassing our country on a daily basis. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.